Have you ever watched an old episode of The Simpsons, laughed at some ridiculous joke, and then years later seen that exact thing happen in real life? Not close, not similar, but uncomfortably accurate. A cartoon predicting presidents, technology, global events, and social behavior sounds insane, yet it keeps happening over and over again. Today we're asking a question that refuses to die online. How does The Simpsons predict the future so accurately? This isn't hype, and it's not magic either. Let's slow it down and actually break it apart. What made this idea explode is the internet's obsession with screenshots. Someone finds a frame from an old episode, places it next to a real headline, and suddenly it looks like a warning we all missed. These posts spread fast because they trigger something deep in the brain, pattern recognition mixed with fear. When people see coincidence stacked on coincidence, it stops feeling random. It starts feeling intentional, and that's when curiosity turns into paranoia. One of the least exciting but most important explanations is volume. The Simpsons has been running for decades, producing hundreds upon hundreds of episodes. Every episode throws dozens of exaggerated ideas into the world: future tech, political outcomes, cultural shifts. When you generate that many possibilities, some of them are guaranteed to come true. We don't notice the misses, but the hits feel massive. What makes those hits feel smarter than random chance is who's writing them. Many of the show's writers are highly educated, trained to think in systems and trends. They study politics, economics, technology, and human behavior, then push those patterns forward just a few steps. When reality catches up years later, it looks like prediction. In reality, it's foresight sharpened by satire. Technology is where the show feels almost unfair. Smartwatches, video calls, autocorrect disasters, virtual assistants, all joked about long before they became normal. But technology doesn't move randomly. It follows human laziness, convenience, and profit. The writers understood that if something makes life easier, people will adopt it no matter the cost. That insight ages extremely well. Political predictions hit harder because political systems move slowly. When power structures resist change, outcomes become easier to anticipate. The show exaggerates existing behaviors: ego, corruption, incompetence, and lets time do the rest. When those exaggerated versions show up in real life, people forget they were always there. Satire just made them louder. There's also a psychological trick at play called confirmation bias. We remember the moments that came true and forget the countless jokes that didn't. Our brains edit reality into highlights. So every correct prediction feels rare and powerful, even though it's pulled from a massive archive. This doesn't mean the phenomenon is fake. It just means our perception is selective. Satire works by exaggerating reality until it becomes uncomfortable. The problem is that reality keeps catching up. When societies ignore warnings, jokes slowly turn into documentation. The Simpsons has always held up a distorted mirror to culture, and when people recognize themselves in it years later, the reflection feels prophetic. The internet made all of this louder. Before social media, these moments would have stayed obscure. Now, a single frame comparison can reach millions in minutes. Algorithms love shock and coincidence because they keep people scrolling. The faster something spreads, the more real it feels. The myth wasn't created online, it was amplified there. So, is The Simpsons actually predicting the future? Not in a supernatural way. What it's doing is understanding people, incentives, and systems, then stretching them forward just enough to expose where they're headed. The writers never knew when things would happen, only that they eventually would. Time filled in the gaps. The reason this question feels unsettling is because it challenges the idea of control. If outcomes are predictable, how much choice do we really have? The idea that a cartoon understood society before society understood itself makes people uncomfortable. We're not afraid of the show. We're afraid of how easy we are to read. So the real answer to how The Simpsons predicts the future is simple and disturbing at the same time. It doesn't predict, it observes, exaggerates, and waits. History does the rest. If this explanation made you see those viral screenshots differently, that's exactly what this channel exists for. This is History of Questions, where we don't just accept what we're shown, we ask why it keeps happening. If you want more questions like this, subscribe, because some answers only make sense when you slow down and actually think.